All right, thanks a lot, Andy, and thanks again to all of our panelists here. Up next, we've got a presentation on consumer acceptance of future innovation. So please welcome Haruko Minagawa, who's going to talk about that. Quick presentation, and then we'll have some Q&A, so feel free to leave some questions as we go through.
So hello, everyone. I'm Haruko, based in Tokyo, an advertising agency called Hakuhodo. Right, that's me. Yeah, that's the title. So today I'd like to share with you what innovation is like in Asia, with a focus in Asia. So at Hakuhodo, we do annual research about innovation acceptance with a focus in the Asian region. So we compare China, Japan, Thailand, and for comparison, we also do the research in the US too. So we do quantitative and qualitative research, and all of the data is actually shared in this URL here. I'm very sorry, but it's all in Japanese, but the translation, you can use translation, so all the data is there, as long as you're able to translate it. So what we do is, we started from 30 services in 6 main areas. It's now grown up to 55. And we ask the audience what kind of innovation you're interested in having. So the main 6 areas is shopping support, health exercise support, new media information services, new rich content XR, driving support, voice activation, and we've added up some different things too. So, of course, technology is quite global, but we do see different reactions in different countries. So, and those might come from cultural differences, infrastructure differences. They come from a lot of differences. But we try to understand how innovation is accepted in all of these different countries. So, a fast shot. The quantitative research is done in 4 cities in the 4 countries. So for the US, we looked into Los Angeles. And these are the things that come up for the top 10. So mirror earth information, AR health emergency support service, VR doctor, VR, that kind of thing comes up. So that's the US. So a quick shot of that, and we can say that there's a focus on convenience by IT support within the house. And there's a high expectation towards better quality in healthcare and education. So that's a very, very, well, there's lots of ways in looking into the data, but just a very brief shot of US. This is Shanghai, so we see a complete different thing here. So the first comes up, and VR in advanced surgical operation. So they're ready to have their surgery done by VR, not directly by a person in Shanghai. And the second comes here, automatic account transfer predicting spend. So they're okay with AI and things shuffling their money. So this is what comes out in Shanghai. The actual questionnaire there, because there aren't some of the actual services, they're described in longer sentences, and I've just shortened them here. So these are the things that are expected in Shanghai. Surgical operation, account transfer, and drones, these kinds of things. And then coming in and reading that, there's high expectation towards advanced technology drastically changing lifestyle in Shanghai. So I'll try and squeeze in a video later showing you what is actually happening in China. Next, Bangkok. They've got a problem. So they've got these traffic jams. So what's happening here in Bangkok is the first comes in regular cosmetics and beauty delivery, smart speaker, news, in-car entertainment because of the traffic jams, these kind of things. And you can see that the points are rather higher compared to the US and Shanghai. So you can say there's a focus on raising the base level of daily distribution, transportation, and housework. There's very high expectations towards any kind of innovation now in Bangkok. Not all of them is actual reality in Bangkok yet. And the last one is Tokyo. This is a very tragical figure from a Japanese to see. The figures are tragically low, so we don't really expect anything. And the only thing that is scoring very high is unmanned shops. So we don't really want to have any human interaction either. So Unmanned shops scoring first, VR doctor consultation, small-sized accessories for movies, that kind of thing. So summing this up, it's minimization of human interaction and enriching personal entertainment. So we want to stay in our own world without any other human interaction. So that's so that was all the findings from the quantitative research. You can see the actual data online. So now I'd like to share with you, I've only got 2.5 minutes yet left, an actual video from the qualitative research. So this is how people use LineMan. Line is actually a messaging application. It's got about 300 million users globally. And 80% of the users are actually in the top 4 countries. That's Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, and Indonesia. And what he's doing here, it's a messaging application, but it's got payment operations. And this is actually ordering food. So it's like something like Uber Eats. So it's got payment functionalities. It's got these kinds of things. So this person is actually looking for someone to deliver her food from the restaurant. So the application is now looking for a lineman that's that's near her house, and then she suddenly gets a phone call from that lineman. So there's a matchmaking made, and then there's a phone call here. So she is interacting with that lineman, and what happens is she actually selected what kind of food that she wanted to order through the app, but then the lineman on the phone call is actually recommending to her different things that he recommends at the restaurant. And they actually decide together after the phone call, and then you see where lineman is on the application, and she's waiting for her. 15 minutes later, she gets a phone call directly from lineman, and then lineman comes up to her house and actually delivers the food to her. And what's happening here is within this application, we actually do have mobile payment, but she is actually paying cash to the lineman. So all the orders change through the phone calls, and there's very, very human interaction here, which the Japanese can't really understand. But there's human interaction here, and she does the payment by cash. So this is what's happening in Thailand. And it's very, very humanistic. They are very open to innovation, but they're looking into some kind of human touch here. So after that, we asked what's happening with lineman. So this is lineman, and he is actually, this is quite similar to Uber and Lyft. So he's got different services too. So he is a lineman, but at the same time, he's doing delivery for some similar service called Lala Move too. So that was Thailand. The next, that's happening because there's never-ending traffic jams in Thailand. It's very hard to get to a restaurant in Thailand, so you get your food delivered through those kinds of services. So we see in Thailand mobile service compensating city infrastructure, keeping human touch. In Shanghai, they have drone delivery. So when I first heard about, this is Hangzhou. When I first heard about drone delivery, I thought they would have coffee directly served to my office desk through my office window. But, well, if that happens, that's going to be quite chaotic. So what they have is, it's like a bus station system. So that person actually came out from a Starbucks, and he's got the coffee onto this place here. So this is a place here, and we don't really remote control the drones. It's always, it's programmed. So it goes up, and then Hangzhou, China, they have their traffic jams too. So usually when it takes quite long, the drone would just fly directly to the destination. So it takes 15 minutes by car, but by drone it only takes 5 minutes. So it goes directly there, and what happens is it lands. I'm going quicker than the drone. So it lands, and then the person here is coming to pick this drone up, pick the delivery coffee up, and then he's going to deliver it directly to the person. So it's like a bus stop system. It's not going end to end, but there's a whole kind of system already made here. And these videos, they were actually videoed 14 months ago. In Shanghai, it's famous for its crabs, and crabs are very seasonal things, and they're very good when they're fresh. And last October and November, we saw Shanghai crabs flying all over the place with drones. So this is actually happening in China now. And that was actually, a person actually went to the place to pick the coffee up, but now they're thinking about more optimized systems. So they can have drones actually landing on cars themselves with the QR codes. Because it's programmed, the drone can go and look out for the QR code and land there. So that's the kind of reality happening in China. And you can understand, so the Chinese people are really, really open to innovation. They're okay to anything happening to them. And this is the reality in Asia. Thank you very much.